The following is a special announcement from Popboy, the Enterprises, I don't know. Just roll a little colored screen thing. It's your Popboy coming to you from deep inside my dungeon, where I have been just agonizing over pretty much every slider related to shooting and shot defense, because as you probably know, this shit just gone haywire. Really, I think 2 patches ago, but especially since this last patch. And that's why I'm here today, to bring you guys a special slider adjustment alert. We got a lot to clean up. I mean, the field goal percentages are just out of control, and I hate it. It just makes the whole game feel like a joke. So we're gonna get this fixed, but first we gotta ask ourselves, what types of shots are creating this problem for us? And once I ran all my tests, I could see clearly what our biggest problem is. Players are just too good at finishing around the rim in traffic now. 2K is definitely, I don't know if they tried to or not, but they have definitely recalibrated something with their contact shot crap. Because now we got defenders that are actually in very good position and should be able to affect a shot, and shooters are finishing over them down low like they're not even there. I mean, let him affect the shot or something. He's right there. Hook a dude up with a contact shot every once in a while. It's just not going to do it. So clearly these low contact shot frequency sliders that were good before, they ain't going to cut it anymore since this last patch. We got to raise them. All right, so we're going to put driving contact shot frequency, that up to 48. And then inside contact shot frequency, just a little bit less, to 46. And that's just because the game naturally gives out more contact shots on inside shots as opposed to driving shots. So we want that little difference there to account for that. So that's for the CPU. We're actually going to do the same exact thing for the user. It's pretty much basically dead even, and it wasn't the case before, but it's definitely that way now. I can confirm that. We're also going to want to adjust the 4 defense strength sliders right here. And you probably remember from earlier in the series, but just a reminder, these 4 sliders here are opposite. So a higher value is actually going to lower the defensive strength, and a lower value is actually going to raise it. So we're going to want to adjust all 4 of these, because ever since that last patch, the contest grades have just been a little light for the amount of traffic that you're actually in. So this is for the user. We're bringing this one down, the takeoff one, down to 50. Let's come down to the release one. We're going to bring that one down to 48. Alright, now let's come over to CPU, do the same 2 sliders. So for the takeoff one, we're going to bring that one down to 43. And then for the release one, we're taking that down to 41. So that's going to increase the defensive strength on layups, shots around the rim, and give out shot grades that are a little bit more appropriately harsh. Now for the jump shot ones here, that was a little bit of a different story. And actually I found that now the shot grades are actually a little too harsh on jump shots. What I've concluded to be the main reason for this is that the release slider is a little too strong. So we're going to want to go ahead and weaken it a little bit, of course, by raising it. So for the user, we're going to take this up to 54. And for the CPU, we're going to bring it up to 47. And then for the gather slider, I took the users to 52 and then the CPUs to 45. So that's the numbers. That's what it's going to take to get appropriate contest grades on all different types of shots with this last patch. So these are all well and good, but the contact just doesn't drop the percentage on the shot enough anymore. So we got to take down the contact shot success. Let's go ahead and start with the user. We're going to bring this thing all the way down to 40. Let's come over to CPU. It's going to be at 45 for them. Now, I know that may seem drastic, but that's what was needed to get these contact shots down to a realistic percentage. And we're going to make a couple other pretty big adjustments. Let's go ahead and start with inside shot right here. For the user, we're taking this thing down to 38. And for the CPU, this is going down to 45. Come back to the user, come down to layup. This thing's going down to 39 for the user and down to 45 for the CPU. And don't worry, they're not so extreme to where you're going to be like blowing all kinds of wide open shots around the rim. I hardly ever had that happen throughout all my testing. Anytime I missed a shot around the rim, there was almost always a reason for it. But we do want to take the close shot slider down also. And for the user, we're going to bring it down just to 42. And for the CPU, it's going to come down to 49. So moving on to the mid-range, coming back to user here, we're going to take this one down to 44. And the CPU has had kind of a mid-range problem really this whole year, so I didn't want to mess with that one too much, just down to 51. It'll be the highest one of all their shooting sliders. But let's come out to three-point land, which actually wasn't a problem at all. The percentages were a little bit too low when I retested it. So we're actually going to be raising the 3-point a little bit for the CPU. Just one, we're going to bring that up to 50. Okay, but the same is not true for the user. We're going to be bringing it down to 43. Everything's been matching up great since that last patch with it there. Okay, so there's all the numbers there for the main set, and it's based on Hall of Fame difficulty. So when it comes to adjusting these for other difficulties, what's become abundantly clear to me with all of my testing this time, all these shot success sliders are a wee bit touchy. They're pretty damn sensitive. Okay, so I would not follow the same system that we've done in the past, where you're just going to follow the default level and add or subtract the same amount. I would not do that. They're going to get too out of whack and you'll get unrealistic percentages. So all we're going to do to adjust the difficulty is basically add or subtract 1 per side depending on which direction you want to go. So if I want to make it a little easier, I'm going to add 1 to each of these for the user. You get the point. Subtract 1 away from the CPU. If I'd like to go another level easier, then you're going to do 1 more. And it'll be the same system for the 2 contact shot frequency sliders, because these are really sensitive as well. So it's going to be the same thing, just 1 notch per side per level. Now we're not going to do this for the defense strength sliders. We're going to follow the same original system of using the default levels and adding or subtracting the same amount away from the default level for your difficulty. So you do it just like we did before. These 4 aren't as touchy as the other ones, so we can still use that system and get realistic percentages on every difficulty level. Alright, I think that about does it. That should be everything we need to get the field goal percentages back in check, get them back down to realistic levels after the last patch. So plug them in, adjust it for the difficulty you want, and let me know what you think. Get in the comments. As always, let me know what you're experiencing. That really does help me, and I'm sure it helps other viewers too. And while you're down there, go ahead and leave me a like if you enjoyed, if you found this useful. And you know what, now that I got these done, I can't lie, I am pretty damn excited to play my next game. So I'm going to go get back on it, see what I can dig up along the way, and I'll be back with more soon. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you right back here next time on TOUCHY with the Popboy! Yeah, I literally just made one of my cats fly across the room with that.